Story 1. The Forgotten Room. Nestled within the quiet embrace of Willowdale, the Johnson family embarked on a journey that would unearth the hidden horrors of their newfound Victorian home. The basement, a dim and foreboding space, harbored secrets that would soon plunge them into a chilling descent into the supernatural. The discovery of a concealed door behind a tattered curtain revealed a forgotten room frozen in time. The air in the room was thick with the musty scent of nostalgia, adorned with antique dolls and weathered children's toys. Eager to transform it into a cozy playroom for their daughter Emily, the Johnsons unknowingly unraveled the dormant malevolence that lurked within. As the family delved into the renovation, the dolls on the shelves seemed to come to life after sundown. The once cheerful giggles of Emily's invisible playmates transformed into sinister whispers that reverberated through the halls. The dolls, with their vacant stares, rearranged themselves in haunting tableaus, recreating the tragedy of the past. The Johnsons, tormented by the supernatural forces they had unknowingly unleashed, began researching the house's dark history. Decades ago, a fire had claimed the lives of children seeking refuge in the forgotten room. The spirits, trapped between realms, sought solace and release. Emily, now a conduit for the paranormal, communicated with the lingering souls, and the family found themselves entangled in a desperate struggle to appease the restless spirits before their dream home turned into a nightmare of unrelenting horror. Story 2. The Unfinished Project. In the outskirts of the city, the Morgan house stood as a relic of a forgotten era, concealing a nightmarish secret that would test the sanity of its new inhabitants, Tom and Lily Morgan. Their dream of restoring the aged Victorian beauty would soon crumble beneath the weight of a malevolent force that transcended time. The hidden door, obscured by layers of peeling wallpaper, led the cupola to a sub-basement that held the twisted remnants of an artist's dark obsession. Incomplete mannequins, grotesque sculptures, and unsettling paintings adorned the walls, each exuding a palpable sense of malevolence. As Tom and Lily immersed themselves in the renovation, they unwittingly unleashed an otherworldly entity embedded within the unfinished art. The mannequins, with lifeless eyes that seemed to follow the couple's every move, began to take on a life of their own. Whispers echoed through the dimly lit corridors, and Lily found herself ensnared in nightmarish visions of the mannequins pursuing her through the darkened halls. The oppressive energy emanating from the sub-basement invaded their dreams, blurring the boundaries between reality and a waking nightmare. The Unfinished Project, a sinister creation of a tormented artist, sought to claim the souls of its unwitting curators. Tom and Lily, trapped in a macabre dance with the supernatural, struggled to comprehend the true horror that lay within the walls of their once promising dream home. Story 3. The Cryptic Messages. Ravenswood, steeped in history and shadows, became the backdrop for Emily Sinclair's descent into the unknown. Inheriting her late grandmother's imposing mansion, Emily embarked on a journey that would reveal a dark legacy intertwined with the occult cryptic messages and a malevolent force eager to consume her very soul. The basement, a subterranean labyrinth of secrets, revealed cryptic messages scrawled in faded red paint upon the walls. Emily, drawn to the enigmatic symbols, unwittingly opened a gateway to a realm where reality and the supernatural converged. As she immersed herself in deciphering the symbols, the oppressive energy in the basement intensified. Whispering tales of forbidden rituals and summonings, the cryptic messages unveiled the occult practices of Emily's grandmother, who had once wielded the basement as a conduit to the otherworldly. As Emily delved deeper into the arcane, the supernatural forces tied to the cryptic messages manifested in increasingly sinister ways. Nightmares plagued her every sleep. The walls seemed to pulsate with an unseen malevolence, and whispers escalated into anguished wails that echoed through the mansion. Haunted by the dark legacy of her family, Emily found herself ensnared in a battle between the living and the dead. The boundary between realms blurred, and the malevolent presence sought to claim her as its vessel. With every step deeper into the occult, Emily raced against time to sever the ties that bound her to the dark forces in the basement, desperately trying to escape the impending doom that loomed over Ravenswood. Story 4. The Shadowed Reflection. In the heart of the city, the Thompsons thought they had found their ideal home in a historic townhouse. However, the basement harbored a malevolence that transcended the ordinary. An antique mirror, nestled in a forgotten corner, became a conduit to a nightmarish realm. As family members gazed into the mirror, they noticed shadowy figures lurking just beyond their reflections. Soon, the shadows gained substance, manifesting as grotesque entities with hollow eyes and twisted limbs. The once grand townhouse transformed into a realm of perpetual dread, with the shadows whispering chilling secrets that echoed through the darkness. Reality and nightmare intertwined as the shadows sought to breach the confines of the mirror. The Thompsons, tormented by the sinister reflections, found themselves entangled in a struggle against a force that hungered for their very souls. The mirror, now a gateway to an abyss of eternal darkness, threatened to consume the family in a horrifying cascade of twisted reality. Story 5. The Forgotten Laboratory. The Hendersons, enticed by the allure of a rustic farmhouse, unwittingly stumbled upon a basement harboring a forgotten laboratory. Dust-covered equipment and journals filled with cryptic notes hinted at a malevolent experiment gone awry. The family, unaware of the dark history they had awakened, faced a descent into madness. As the Hendersons delved into the laboratory's secrets, grotesque amalgamations of flesh and machinery began to stir. Unearthly moans echoed through the farmhouse, and the air became tainted with the stench of decay. The experiments, once confined to the pages of the journals, clawed their way to life, their tortured wails becoming a symphony of horror. The family, ensnared in a nightmare of their own making, witnessed the unholy creations seeking revenge. Twisted abominations roamed the farmhouse, driven by an insatiable hunger for the living. The Hendersons, haunted by the consequences of disturbing the grotesque experiments, fought desperately for survival as the basement laboratory became a breeding ground for unspeakable horrors. Story 6. The Whispers in the Well. Nestled in the countryside, the Andersons' idyllic cottage hid a malevolent secret within its backyard well. Faint whispers emanating from its depths hinted at ancient curses and restless spirits. The family, drawn to the well's haunting calls, found themselves ensnared in a web of supernatural terror. As night fell, the whispers intensified, revealing tales of a cult that once thrived in the area. The well, believed to be a portal to the underworld, became a conduit for malevolent forces seeking release. The Andersons, plagued by the relentless whispers, discovered that the well was a gateway to a realm where the living and the dead coexisted. Nightmares painted vivid images of spectral figures emerging from the well, their eyes glowing with malevolence. The whispers, once mere murmurs, transformed into anguished wails that echoed through the cottage. The Andersons, trapped in a waking nightmare, faced the horrifying reality that the well was a passageway to a realm where the boundary between life and death ceased to exist. Story 7. The Haunting Symphony. In the heart of the historic district, the Ramirez family's relocation to the stately mansion brought with it an unexpected encounter with the supernatural. The mansion, with its regal facade, harbored an antique grand piano tucked away in the depths of the basement. Unbeknownst to the family, this instrument bore witness to a sinister secret that would soon unravel their sense of reality. As Maria, the family's youngest, devoted herself to the art of music, Little did she know that the grand piano held the echoes of a long-dead pianist. The basement, perpetually bathed in an unnatural blue light, became the stage for a spectral performance that transcended the boundaries of life and death. The apparition of the deceased pianist materialized, hovering above the keys, orchestrating an otherworldly symphony that reverberated through the entire mansion. Maria, unwittingly becoming a vessel for the spectral musician, found herself drawn into a supernatural dance with the ethereal pianist. The Haunting Symphony, with its dissonant chords and melancholic notes, seemed to possess the power to manipulate reality itself. Time and space distorted with each passing musical note, transforming the once familiar mansion into a perplexing labyrinth of shifting corridors and elusive phantom figures. As Maria's music sessions intensified, the dissonant notes echoed through the mansion, distorting the family's perception of their surroundings. They became ensnared in the spectral melody's chilling grasp, confronting the unnerving reality that the basement piano held a malevolent maestro orchestrating a symphony of horror. The dissonance promised a fate worse than death for those ensnared in the haunting composition, leaving the Ramirez family teetering on the precipice of a nightmarish descent. Story 8. The Veiled Portrait. In the coastal town, the Petersons found themselves captivated by the allure of a mansion steeped in maritime history. Little did they anticipate the malevolent force lurking within the confines of their newfound abode. The basement, home to a peculiar portrait shrouded in a dusty veil, hinted at a dark secret waiting to be unveiled. The painting, depicting a faceless figure surrounded by an ethereal mist, became the focal point of the family's intrigue. The Petersons, driven by an insatiable curiosity, decided to unveil the portrait, unwittingly setting into motion a series of events that would alter the course of their lives. As the veil lifted, an oppressive energy permeated the basement, casting an unsettling pall over the once quiet space. The faceless figure within the painting seemed to come to life, its ghostly visage haunting the recesses of the room. The mist materialized into sinuous tendrils that slithered through the house, leaving an icy trail in their wake. The Petersons, unsuspecting victims of their own curiosity, soon found themselves entangled in a web of malevolence. Vivid hallucinations plagued family members, each vision more disturbing than the last. The vengeful spirit, freed from its painted prison, sought retribution for a long-forgotten transgression, manifesting its wrath upon the living. As the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred, the Petersons raced against time to unravel the mystery behind the veiled portrait. The mansion, once a symbol of historical grandeur, transformed into a battleground between the forces of the supernatural and the resilience of the living. The vengeful spirit's relentless pursuit of retribution threatened to consume their very souls, plunging the Petersons into a nightmarish ordeal where every brushstroke of the supernatural painted a tale of horror. Story 9. The Cursed Reflection. Nestled in the quaint town of Eldridge, the Thompson family moved into a charming cottage with an antique mirror that had witnessed generations come and go. Little did they know that the mirror held a malevolent secret, a curse that would soon cast a dark shadow over their idyllic life. The mirror, adorned with ornate engravings, reflected more than just the physical world. As family members gazed into its reflective surface, their own reflections began to distort and contort into grotesque figures. Strange symbols etched into the mirror's frame seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, resonating with the curse that lay dormant within. Soon, the distorted reflections manifested as sinister doppelgangers, lurking just beyond the mirror's surface. Whispers, barely audible, echoed through the cottage, weaving tales of tragedy and despair. The curse, rooted in a long-forgotten pact made by the mirror's creator, sought to claim the souls of the living. As the Thompsons grappled with their own cursed reflections, the cottage became a battleground between the tangible world and the malevolent forces that lurked within the mirror. Story 10. The Whispering Oak. In the outskirts of the sleepy town of Ravenswood, the Andersons inherited a sprawling estate surrounded by a dense forest. At the heart of the property stood a centuries-old oak tree with twisted branches that seemed to reach for the heavens. Unbeknownst to the family, the Whispering Oak held secrets that transcended the passage of time. The Andersons, drawn to the enigmatic allure of the ancient oak, discovered that the tree emanated a soft, haunting melody. As night fell, the branches rustled with ethereal whispers that spoke of forgotten tales and the spirits that lingered within the gnarled bark. Unsettling symbols etched into the trunk hinted at an ancient pact forged between the oak and a malevolent force. As the family explored the estate, the whispers intensified, weaving a web of intrigue and foreboding. Shadows danced beneath the Whispering Oak, taking on phantom forms that seemed to echo the tales of the past. Family members, drawn into the mystique of the oak, found themselves ensnared in a spectral dance with the supernatural. The whispers transformed into anguished cries as the malevolent force sought to reclaim lost souls. Nightmares unfolded beneath the twisted branches, and the Andersons realized that the ancient oak harbored a dark secret. In a race against time, the family delved into the lore of the Whispering Oak, desperate to sever the ties that bound them to the malevolent force before their idyllic estate transformed into a haunted realm of eternal torment.